Hi again, welcome back. Today we're talking about when is the right time to leave a relationship. What are the red flags you need to leave for good and how do you end it? So let's take a look and dive into the ins and outs of this subject. This is a tough subject and a painful one. We don't want to hurt our own feelings, and we certainly don't want to get hurt by somebody else. I'll be talking about the 4 things that I think you should consider before leaving a relationship. The first thing you need to ask yourself is, have you tried to make it work? Have you tried to fix it? Have you talked to your partner about what's going on? This is important because there has been times in my life where I thought a relationship wasn't working, only to realize after spending a lot of time with that person and having conversations about what our needs are and what we want out of life, that maybe they were a great fit for me. But maybe you just need to build a stronger friendship foundation before jumping into a romantic relationship. Or you may talk to them and realize that your values are misaligned and it doesn't matter how much effort you put into the relationship, it just isn't going to work out. In order for a new relationship to work, you need to heal from any previous relationship. This is so important. And in order for a new romance to work, you need to make sure that you are bringing your authentic self to the table. And in order to do that, you need to spend time healing and processing from the last one. Number 2, are you doing this for the right reasons? Why do you want to leave? Is it because they're not meeting your needs? Is it because you feel unhappy? Is it because you haven't spent quality time together in a long time? It's important to recognize why you want to leave, because sometimes we can convince ourselves that we want to leave them when in reality what we really want is a different experience within the relationship. For example, let's say you've been dating somebody for a while and you're starting to think that maybe you're ready to settle down. You start seeing other people getting engaged, married, buying homes, having children, and you realize that you're not there quite yet. Maybe you don't want to be married, or you don't want to buy a home or have children. You don't want the same things. So then you start feeling unhappy in your relationship because you feel like your partner isn't on the same page as you. In this case, what you really want is to be on the same page as your partner. What you really want is for them to share the same values as you and to see eye to eye on things like marriage, children, finances, and lifestyle. So instead of breaking up with them, maybe a better approach would be to sit down with them and have an honest conversation about what you both want out of the future. Because if you truly love them and care about them and they love and care about you, then you should be willing to work through this issue and decide if you're truly compatible and if the relationship is worth fighting for. The third thing to consider before ending a relationship is whether or not you've given it enough time. How long have you known this person? How long have you been dating? Have you experienced all phases of the relationship, including the honeymoon phase, the disillusionment phase, the frustration acceptance phase? These are all normal phases in a relationship, and even if you feel like it's at a standstill right now, there's always hope that it can pick back up again. Sometimes it's easy for us to jump to conclusions about how a relationship is going based on how we currently feel, only to look back months or even years later and realize that we were wrong. Couples counseling is worth a try. If after a few sessions you still feel the same way, then move on, but you'll never know unless you try. This also goes for individual therapy. Sometimes we can convince ourselves that we don't want to continue going to therapy anymore because we've been working on the same issues for months or even years. We feel stuck and we feel frustrated, but oftentimes there's always something more to explore. There's always something deeper to uncover. So before you throw in the towel, try changing up your perspective. Try looking at your issues from a different angle. Try asking yourself different questions. Try setting different goals for yourself in therapy. You'd be surprised at what you can accomplish and how far you can come with just a few tweaks. Which brings me to my fourth point. If you're thinking about leaving a relationship, it's important to consider whether or not you've explored all of your options. Have you tried going to counseling? Have you tried communicating with your partner? Have you tried making changes? Have you tried seeking support from friends or family members? Sometimes we feel like we're in a dead-end relationship because we don't know what else to do. A therapist can teach you active listening skills, communication skills, conflict resolution skills, stress management skills, coping skills, boundary setting skills. The possibilities are endless. So before you give up on your relationship, try seeking professional help. Not only could it save your relationship, but it could also teach you valuable skills that you can carry with you for the rest of your life. I hope you found these tips helpful. Thanks for watching. I hope some of these tips help you. Please give it a like and subscribe. Thanks once more.